Hi, this is James Melendez, James the Wine Guy, here to talk about rosé wines. Now, rosé wines have really had a hard climb out of an unfortunate situation of being associated with blush wines. And I think that is really, it's really unfortunate because when you think about these respectable winemakers, and there's many out there who are producing a rosé wine, is that it's had to differentiate itself and even be on the offensive, or defensive is probably the better way of putting that, of saying who we are, what this wine is, and what it is not. And it's not a blush wine. A blush wine is really going to impart a lot of sweetness, and I think for some people it's that attraction to sweetness. Of course, I love sweetness, and who doesn't? But I think in this category, I want dry, and I think that's something that finally getting out of this pit of really confusion is getting to a place and a high mark of respectability to what it is. I try some of these wines, and they're absolutely glorious. They're really beautiful wines. So you have the respectability of great winemakers who are producing rosés. There's nothing in it that is less than a white or red wine. It's just it's a very beautiful colored, pink colored wine. Now these wines here, I'll highlight them and I'll talk about them individually in a separate review. But it's just really to climb forward and think. I still go to wine tastings and I'm really amazed that it's like I'll do the whites and I'll do the reds. Oh no, but hold the pinks. We don't want any of that. And I think that's a really unfortunate situation or scenario that I try to taste everything that I can. I think it's my obligation and duty to do that. And I'm not saying it feels like an obligation to taste rosé wines. I love it. I love the color. It's so beautiful. And I like it year-round. I don't like it just in the summertime. I think, yes, you can have a rosé specifically for summer. That's yours because the weather calls for it. But for me, I think of seafood. I think of even maybe I want Italian food and really rich tomato-based plates to enjoy with a rosé wine. And I think this can go with so many different food styles as well. So that's the beauty of the rosé category. You can do rosés out of almost any varietal. In fact, I think I've seen almost every red varietal being produced into a rosé wine. Now, unlike a red wine, which spends a lot more time with maceration or skin contact, and a lot of the punch down process, which is when you have a barrel of wine, you have the skins that are still left to impart the color. So you're going to do this for 1 to 3 days on a rosé wine and much longer on a red wine because you definitely want that color. You can do different variations and themes on this. So maybe in this video you can see that this Lagrein here is a little darker than maybe this Garnacho, this Tempranillo. So I brought these out because I think they're absolutely stunningly beautiful, really gorgeous. So we'll start with this one, talk about it just on a 50,000 foot view level, and just give you a quick run through, and then I'll do individual videos on this. So here, this is Navarra Sotillo. This is a Rioja Rosado, and this wine has all the bona fides of being organic grapes, and that's the pride of this particular Rioja producer. And so you can go from this, which is an Italian wine. This is Alto Adige, and it's Rosado, and so you see that here, Lagrein, and so Rosato is on the back listed there, so you see that. So this is a producer, Alois Lagadier. So Lagrein, one of these rare varietals, and I think it's a really great testament that it ends up as a rosé as well. So I think that's a really cool thing, considering that there's about a little over 1,000 acres of Lagrein in the entire planet. So to have some in this format is really unique, very cool. Can't wait to try this wine. And I actually don't want to open it up, but I will because that's what you need to do. So this wine here, another familiar Spanish producer from Rioja, another Rosado wine in Marques de Cáceres, and this wine is Tempranillo, and a beautiful label here, and all the bona fides on the back of the category and certifications. So this is a fun wine. I'm seeing a lot of California rosés. In 10 years ago, I wouldn't have seen, maybe for every producer, I would have seen one rosé wine, and now you're probably seeing, 3 or 4 or 5. So that means that many more producers are putting a rosé wine in their lineup, which I think is a really great thing. So little baby steps coming back into the light of rosé. And these are great wines. Can't wait to try them again and again. And for more reviews, please go to jamesthewineguy.com. Subscribe to my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Vimeo. Salud.